Sue's calling him.
Okay. I see we're on the live stream. Okay, Julio, you want to call the meeting to order? I mean, do a roll call
Yes, Ms. Laughlin?
here.
Ms. Laughlin's present. Mr. Siegel?
Here.
Mr. Siegel's present. Ms. Roig?
Here.
Ms. Roig is present. Mr. Gunther?
Here.
Mr. Gunther's present. And Mr. Brooks?
Here.
Mr. Brooks is present. We have Mr. Smith, Mr. Sykes, and Mr. Vallone absent.
Okay. So we have 2 items of new business. The first is discussion and approval of the revised Millennium Revolving Loan Fund guidelines, which are probably, what are they, about 10 years old, Walter? A little older than that even?
Yeah, a little older. And the background is that Millennium had agreed to fund this loan fund as part of their project, but it was subject to the review and approval of policy guidelines. And I'm sure we went way overboard drafting the policy guidelines when first adopted to make sure that they couldn't weasel out of their commitment to provide funding. It was back in December of 2011, so it'll be 11 years ago.
Yeah.
The guidelines are, frankly, and I drafted them, so I'm being critical of myself. They're too detailed, and I think Jen has done a very good job of extracting from them what's not needed, but still keeping them with enough detail to ward off applications for things that don't make any sense. I think what she did is a really good job.
And Carol, I understand you did some editing as well.
Yeah, I just made a suggestion to clarify. Alternate energy isn't really a term of art in that world, so I was assuming that renewable energy was the, on-site renewable energy was the intention, and those are the forms for which it's fairly easy through some New York State programs to get low interest financing to do those projects.
Great. Well, thank you for taking the time to do that.
Sure, absolutely.
So we need a motion, right, to accept
Yeah,
the revised?
So we need a motion to accept the revised guidelines as the track changes reflect.
So moved.
Okay, and Sean will
second
second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so the guidelines as modified are approved. The second item is that we need to discuss the Millennium Loan Fund Corrective Action Plan. So you guys know we had an audit, a copy of the audit findings were also in the packet or in the email that Jen sent us. And in response to that audit, we are submitting a corrective action plan as required. So what you have starting on page 2, sorry, not page 2, page, where are we? All the way down here, page 14 of 17. That is where the corrective action plan is set forth, and that will be submitted to the Controller's office, right, Walter?
Yeah, Office of the State Controller, Division of Local Government, and School Accountability, a very viable and very important function of our state government that I can't think of one person that cares about it.
Well, and just so everyone's aware, because this has been a process that's been underway for months. I don't even know how many months ago when the Controller's office submitted their findings, Walter, Jen, myself, who else was on? Was that it, Walter? We had a
March of 2022 is when they finalized their findings following their draft findings that we responded to and got rid of some of the things that were in the draft findings.
Exactly. So now what's left is what's in this corrective action plan. And I think Jen did a good job with the response. I know, Walter, you've had a chance to review and give your input as well, right?
Yeah, we worked on it together, and I would say that the board should adopt it unless there's some changes people want to be make as proposed.
Let's get the motion on the table first, then we'll see if there's any discussion. So can I have a motion to
I'll make
approve
it.
the submission of the corrective action plan?
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
Carol, second. Okay. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Let's call the question. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. That is now going to be submitted, and I believe it's due. Is it due by Friday, I think?
It's
That's
due
why we had this
Saturday.
meeting,
We'll
right?
send it out by Friday. I'll need to get a signature from you, Susie, if I may.
Okay. And
Sometime.
it'll be
And you need
via,
to, yeah, it can be any way you want. And Julio, we also have to fill in one date in the corrective action.
Correct.
So,
where does do I sign the actual corrective action plan?
yes,
Oh, I'm the only signature?
it can be it doesn't have to be a pen and ink signature.
Okay.
And you're
Um,
not the only signature, you're just the preferred signature.
Got it. Lucky.
We're all on tape as standing as cohorts of yours in this endeavor.
Yes.
Susie, we're with you. Don't worry about a thing.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Good to know. Good to know.
Susie, who?
I've seen that movie already, you remember? Okay.
Yes.
So with that, is there any other business to come before the funding court? Is there any member of the public present, Julio?
There are no members of the public.
Okay, so we can now have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Paul.
Second.
Second, Howard. All in favor? Aye. All right.
Aye.
I slept from 10 o'clock until 3 o'clock, so I was here for this meeting, and that's it.
That's it.
Wait, what? Julio, you could turn off the live stream.